Hey everyone, welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today on some pretty cool stories about people who took their passions and turned them into something big in their corners of the world. One is about a backpacker turned vlogger with, you won't believe this, 680,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And the other is a wrestler who built a whole community around his sport in, of all places, Pattaya, Thailand.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is thinking about the why behind these stories.
Yeah.
Why Pattaya, why these ventures in particular? It kind of shows just how powerful a vision can be when it comes to attracting others.
Right, and first up we have Jason Rupp, that vlogger I mentioned. So he first visited Thailand as a backpacker 25 years ago, and now he's this digital nomad sharing his adventures with a massive audience. You might be thinking just another travel vlogger, right?
Huh.
Well, yeah, but he actually started his career in acting and only later realized that his true passion was travel, specifically Thailand.
I think it's that authenticity that really connects with people. There are so many travel vloggers out there that someone like Rupp really stands out by showcasing the unexpected parts of a place, even one as heavily documented as Thailand.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Remember that video of his that went viral? The one where he gets a colonic treatment?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't just for shock value either. He was really diving into local wellness practices there, showing a side of Thailand that most tourists and even some locals probably wouldn't even think to explore.
Okay, that's hilarious. And honestly, pretty brave. Makes you wonder what other unexpected things he's uncovered. But it's not just about finding the unusual stuff, right? He's also dedicated to promoting local businesses and highlighting the positive side of Pattaya, which honestly is a nice change from the typical party central image people have of the place.
Yeah, and that focus on community is a big part of his success. Not just him, but actually helping to boost the reputation of a place he loves. You see this a lot with successful entrepreneurs, actually, this desire to contribute and give back.
Exactly. And speaking of entrepreneurs taking a leap of faith, let's talk about Sunny Z. This guy moved to Pattaya during the pandemic and thought what this city needs is a wrestling organization. And that's how Paradise Sports Entertainment, or PSE, was born. Talk about guts. But what's really impressive is that he didn't just build a business, he built a whole community. PSE offers daily wrestling shows and training for all ages and fitness levels.
That's right, and even more interesting to me is his overall goal. Sunny Z doesn't just want to run a local wrestling school, he wants to create a pro wrestling visa for Thailand, similar to the one they have for Muay Thai.
Oh, wow.
So you know the Muay Thai visa system, right? It brings in fighters and fans from all over the world pumping money into the economy. Sunny Z sees that same potential in pro wrestling.
I wonder when he first pitched that idea, did people take him seriously? Or did they think he was a bit out there?
I don't know for sure, but considering how important Muay Thai is culturally here, I imagine there were some doubts. It takes a lot of audacity to even propose something like that, but that's what I admire about Sunny Z. He has this unwavering belief in his vision.
Yeah, he's not just talking about it, he's actually working to make it happen.
hmm
But I bet it wasn't all easy going, right? Getting those first shows off the ground, building an audience, that couldn't have been easy.
Absolutely. Starting anything new is going to have challenges, especially something as different as pro wrestling in Pattaya. Reminds me of something Jason Rupp said in one of his early vlogs. He was talking about how at the beginning he was posting regularly and putting his all into it, but hardly anyone was watching.
Yeah, I bet that was discouraging.
It was, but he said it taught him a valuable lesson about consistency and resilience. You can't just give up because you don't see results immediately. You have to trust the process and believe in what you're doing and keep going. And eventually, if you're providing something valuable, people will notice.
And it looks like both Rupp and Sunny Z really took that to heart. They both carved out their own spaces in Pattaya, found their audiences, and even enriched the city in the process.
And they've done it in completely different ways, which is what makes their stories so compelling. They both saw opportunities where others might have seen obstacles, and they weren't afraid to take risks. And that's such a good message for anyone listening, no matter what they're into. It's about finding those gaps, those unfilled needs, and then having the courage to go for it, create something new.
Makes me rethink my whole fear of karaoke thing. Maybe I need to channel my inner Sunny Z.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's switch gears a bit geographically. We're going from the beaches of Pattaya to the heart of Kowloon Bay. I know you're thinking a shopping center. Where's the adventure in that? But trust me, this place is different. Telford Plaza, it's called. And it's way more than just a place to shop.
What's interesting about Telford Plaza is how it shows the way urban spaces change over time. I mean, this whole area was a big industrial zone once upon a time. Now it's this thriving center for commerce and culture, and Telford Plaza has been a big part of that.
It's like you're stepping into a living timeline of the city.
Yeah.
But it's not just about the history, though. The design of the plaza itself is pretty cool. We're
Yeah.
talking huge glass facades, open spaces with tons of natural light, and they really put a lot of effort into using eco-friendly materials. It's not just functional, it's pretty to look at and good for the environment.
Right, and that's a trend we're seeing more and more in urban design. It's not just about building something that looks good or serves a basic purpose anymore. There's a growing awareness of the need to be sustainable, to create spaces that are in harmony with the environment.
But wouldn't all those eco-friendly materials be super expensive? How do they balance that with actually running a massive shopping center?
That's a good question. There's definitely a higher initial cost when it comes to sustainable building, but more and more evidence shows that those investments pay off in the long run. Through lower energy, use lower operating costs, and a good image that attracts people who care about the environment.
So it's not just about doing good, it's good business too.
Exactly. And it's not just about the materials themselves. Telford Plaza is really active in promoting sustainable practices among its tenants and the wider community. They have recycling programs, energy efficient lighting, water saving fixtures, all sorts of stuff. They really try to practice what they preach when it comes to environmental responsibility.
It's nice to see that kind of commitment,
Yeah.
especially in a place like a shopping center, which can feel like a temple to consumerism sometimes.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they're trying to change that.
For sure. And they're also trying to be more than just a shopping destination. Telford Plaza has all kinds of events all year round, celebrating local traditions, international festivals, everything from art shows and live music to food festivals and workshops.
So it's like a cultural hub too, which is great. It reminds me of Sunny Z and how he wants to build community through wrestling. It's all about creating spaces where people can come together, share experiences and learn from each other.
That's a good connection. Both Sunny Z and the folks behind Telford Plaza are creating experiences that go beyond the surface. Whether it's the thrill of a wrestling match or the joy of discovering a new artist, they're providing ways for people to connect with their community on a deeper level.
And in a world that's so dominated by screens and online stuff, those real-world connections are more important than ever. But let's not forget, Telford Plaza is also a big business center. We're talking high-end office buildings, co-working spaces, all kinds of business services. It's not just for shopping and entertainment. It's a place to work and network with other professionals, too.
Yeah, that's one of its biggest strengths, actually. It caters to a diverse range of needs and interests, which makes for a really dynamic environment. You've got shoppers browsing for clothes, entrepreneurs working in co-working spaces, families eating together, and tourists checking out the local culture. It's like a mini version of the city itself.
Okay, so let's say I'm planning a trip to Hong Kong, and I have some free time. Why should Telford Plaza be on my list? What shouldn't I miss?
Well, first, I'd definitely check out their events calendar. They always have something going on, whether it's a traditional Chinese festival or a cool art exhibition. And if you're a foodie, oh man, you're in for a treat. They
Yeah.
have a fantastic selection of restaurants, cafes, and bars. I've heard great things about their dim sum places, and their rooftop bar has amazing views of the city.
Ooh, rooftop bar with city views. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
But what if I'm more of the just wander around and see what I find type? Any hidden gems you can point me to?
One thing I always do when I visit a new place is just get lost. Telford Plaza has these walkways and open spaces, so it's easy to just wander and see where you end up. You might stumble upon a hidden courtyard, a cool little shop, or local artists showing their work.
Like a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question. If you could sum up Telford Plaza in one sentence, what would it be?
That's a tough one. I guess I'd say it's a place where history, culture, sustainability, and community all come together to create a really unique urban experience.
I love that. It's so much more than just a shopping center. It's a reflection of the city's past, present, and future. And it reminds you that even in the most urban environments, there's always room for creativity, connection, and a little bit of surprise.
It's amazing, right?
I'll tell you.
Thinking about Jason Rupp, Sunny Z, even Telford Plaza, and how each story shows the power of passion. When you're really into something, it shows and it draws in other people who feel the same way. Yeah, it's magnetic. Rupp's love for Thailand's Sunny Z, believing in his wrestling dream, even the people behind Telford Plaza, you can feel how passionate they are about creating the sustainable community space. And that's what makes their stories so inspiring.
Totally. It makes you want to find your own thing, your own passion project. It makes me wonder, what would our listeners' passion projects be?
Oh, that's a great question. I'd love to know that. Maybe someone out there is dreaming of opening a bookstore that's also a cat cafe. Or maybe someone's secretly writing the next big fantasy novel. Or maybe someone's super into composting and wants to start a community garden. whatever it is. I bet there are some amazing ideas out there.
Maybe this episode will be what gets those ideas going. Speaking of sparking ideas, we haven't talked much about the travel aspect of all this. Jason Rupp is all about travel, obviously, but the Sunny's wrestling community brings in people from all over, and I bet Telford Plaza sees its fair share of travelers, too.
Oh, definitely. And that's a good point. These stories aren't just about these specific people or places. They're also about how travel can change you experiencing different cultures, getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, travel opens up your mind to new possibilities. And sometimes those possibilities can turn into something amazing. Imagine Jason Rupp might never have found his love for Thailand if he hadn't gone on that first backpacking trip. Sunny Z might never have started PSE if he hadn't moved to Pattaya. Who knows, maybe someone listening to this will be inspired to take a trip that changes their whole life.
And maybe that trip will take them to a hidden gem like Telford Plaza, where they can meet locals, get immersed in the culture, and maybe even get a brilliant business idea. You never know where inspiration will come from.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, here's the takeaway for everyone listening. Whether it's checking out a new city, connecting with people who share your passions, or just going for it on a wild idea, remember, the world is full of possibilities.
And sometimes the best experiences are the ones you least expect. So stay curious, stay open-minded, and hey, maybe you'll be the subject of our next deep dive.
That's a great way to end it.
Yeah.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep diving deep.